thanks and honor to all of to Pastor Lady Nix, all of the babysitters, the sponsors, all the ushers, my wife, ministers, musicians.
Praise God.
I don't know how long I'm gonna be up here, so I'm gonna do what I'm allowed to do. If you guys go with them into Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. So when you get that unction from the Lord of, hey, you need to be ahead of time with your schedule. No, you need to be better with your finances. Don't waste the money that you're getting on fast food. Don't feel this self-entitlement as if, well, I work hard so I can spend it here, I can spend it there, I can do something with it. I need to, I need to live life. I'm still young, I got time. I got a backup plan, but you really don't. You just assuming it may work this way. It may not work that way. Basically doing your own thing other than what you was told to do. So you know who's talking to you. You have enough wisdom to know that God told you, hey, do this, don't do that. So if you're going to choose not to understand what he's basically trying to unlearn what you already know.
All right.
You know who's speaking to you. Don't try and trick yourself out to pretend like you don't get it, so it don't count.
That's good. Come on.
So it's like it don't count. So
Still word there. You talking about us?
we're gonna go down. Still in Jonah chapter 1. We're gonna go down to verse 5, verses 5 through 8. So 5 says, "Then the Marines were afraid and cried, every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea, to lighten it of them. But Jonah was going down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep." So basically, you bring your secret sin around whoever you're around all the time. And when all hell break loose, they don't know what's going on, but you do. You know what's going on. Everyone don't know why the house is coming down.
Come on.
Why we're having all of these issues. Why is it that, every time we try to do something, the plan falls through, it breaks. We can't even think. We don't know left from right. What's supposed to make sense don't make sense. Like A, B, and C does not look like A, B, and C right now. So what's going on? So when this happens, let's just say in a marriage, you're doing something. Yeah, I'm doing it. you have something going on, like you got a YouTube page, you watching something you had no business watching, and you wondering why certain things in your house. And whether your wife or your husband is, they're bothered. You're not bothered because you're thriving in it, but they're bothered by what you're bringing in. And like how it says, but Jonah was going down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. So while everyone else is dealing with the hell that you have brought, you're not affected. You're not affected at all. You're not affected. So basically, it's like, it's doing your own thing while everyone else pays for your sin. So I'm gonna do one more. Kind of look at it like how they want to raise the taxes right now. Let's go politics real quick. So let's say they want to charge millionaires and billionaires 70% tax rate, 80% tax. Like, this is what people want. So do you honestly think that these millionaires and billionaires are actually going to pay that? No, they can pack up, take their money and their jobs overseas. And the person that's stuck paying that is a small businessman, like a barbershop owner, a small hardware store owner, which basically is the middleman, the middle class. So you're stuck paying for the problems of the poor, and you're stuck paying for the problems of the rich. So while you're bringing that secret sin in your home, with your spouse, your wife or your husband is paying for it, and your children are paying for it.
Come on now. Come on.
Come on.
Ouch.
So, if you guys didn't mind, we're gonna be jumping back from Jonah and Proverbs. So, Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7.
What's up?
So, chapter 1, verse 7 says, "The fear of the Lord." Oh, wait,
Yes.
hold on. I still here turning the pages. I'll wait. Y'all good? Okay. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The fools despise wisdom and instruction.
That's it.
If you fear God, you wouldn't even be having the issues that you have.
That's right.
Like if kids were afraid of their mother, kids were afraid of their father, they're gonna be out here acting a fool.
Take it.
Who said? Brother Burleson said, when teachers say I'm gonna call your mama, they ain't scared. But if they say I'm gonna call your father, they're scared. They tell you, you're gonna slow down before you catch that heat before you get home or at that school. Depending on what type of parents you got. But this here would be the beginning, which it says the beginning of knowledge. This is the beginning of where wisdom starts. Basically, do not bite the hand that feeds you. Don't bite the hand that made you. Don't do any of that. And we have the Bible, which is basically like Pastor said before. This is the blueprint. This is the open book, no test that you have to life. There's no way you should even fail. So, with that being said, I kind of looked at it like this, like Adam and Eve were the first ones to disobey God.
Yes.
Cain was the first one to commit a murder. And the first one to talk back to God too. So starting with the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So if you ever notice when there's I keep on
Come on now. This good stuff.
Not fearing the Lord, we would call, this is why we're so self-destructive. This is why we kind of put our nose in things that we have no business putting our nose in. This is why, world leaders go somewhere to another country and try to put their nose and run something that has nothing to do with them. This is why, when there's a brother or sister in the church and they have an issue going in, and it's not your position to go over and do something that this brother or sister should be doing, because you feel like you should be doing something, like that's your position.
Yeah.
That's your position. Your position. That's your lane. So if you know that you don't really have a word for them, and that word is for how can I put it like this? Something that you're struggling with, that you haven't overcame, and that you are still dealing with, you can't really help somebody else with. So if I got daddy issues and I'm still upset with my father at 29 years old, I can't talk to a 12, 13, 14-year-old about daddy issues. We're basically just going to share the same hurt. We're going to share the same hurt. I can tell him what not to do, but I'm not giving him a solution of how to get rid of what he's doing.
Come on now.
So we're going to go right back to Jonah, chapter 1.
Work, Jonah. Come on.
Sorry if I'm moving too fast.
It's all right. Take your time. It's wonderful.
Okay, so chapter 1, verses 9 through 16. So 9 says, "And he said unto them, I am an Hebrew, and I fear the Lord, the God of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land." So he already know who God is.
That's what he said.
He know who God is. He know what God, the power of God. 10 says, "Then were the men exceedingly afraid, and said unto him, Why hast thou done this? For the man knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord because he had told them. They know who God is. And they scared. You know, it's like somebody riding in your car and they claim they're not scared. They appear they're not afraid of the cops. Y'all get pulled over. And they like, oh man, hey man, I got some on me. And then you like, hey, and then the drivers of the car are like, why you got some on you? We got these people behind us. And you know we don't even want this in our car. Well, hey man, it didn't happen. So let me keep going. Then said they unto him, what shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wrought and was tempted. Yeah, I'll let y'all say. I'm not. I can't do it. So now they're trying to find a solution to the problem right now. That, keep in mind, that you brought to them. You brought this around them. They didn't bring it to you. You came to where they are. So 12 says, and he said unto them, take me up and cast me forth into the sea. For I know that for my sake this greatest tempest is upon you. So I'm going to keep going. Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to bring it to the land, but they could not, for the sea wrought and was tempestuous something again against them. I'll let y'all help me with that word. Wherefore they cried unto the Lord and said, we beseech thee, O Lord, we beseech thee, let us not perish for this man's life, and lay not upon us innocent blood. For thou, O Lord, hast done and as it's pleased thee. So basically, keep in mind, y'all still pulled over. Cops came to the window. They know that someone's holding something. Hey, I don't want to go to jail for this dude over here. Yeah. I didn't do nothing. I didn't even know he had it. You know, I got a wife and kids. Hey, like now you know, I got a wife and kids. I'm not trying to get locked up. So basically, so 15 says, so they took up Jonah and cast him forth into the sea, and the sea ceased from her raging. 16 says that the men feared the Lord exceedingly and offered a sacrifice unto the Lord and made war. So Jonah got back into a corner. So basically, when you bring your super sin around someone, and at some point, that dark secret gets exposed. Yeah, right. So like now you don't have no choice but to be honest now. Yeah. So it's, you know, like how Lady Nixon said before, when people lie on the pastor and say, Pastor said, Pastor didn't say it. And then when you bring it to, hey, Pastor, did you say this or do that? Right. What you gonna do? You gonna lie in front of the pastor in his face? Not gonna. I mean, it's easy to do it behind the back because you're not around. No one can say you did or
put that
did not.
spotlight on.
Yeah, but when you expose it and you bring it to the light, now it's, you know, you're back into that corner the same way Jonah was. Because now you have innocent bystanders that's going to take a hit for what you have going on. That's why bad attitude on the job. Like, you know, Pastor was saying earlier, that respect thing, walking around with your chest out and everything, and wonder why some things don't happen. Yeah. Now, you gotta learn you gotta learn this mess that you created. Yeah. You gotta sit in it for a little bit. Come on. You gotta learn from it. Yeah. Then you gotta appreciate having something that because you have to go through not having it when it gets taken away.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
And all of this is because of choice. So what Jonah has been experiencing so far, what we read, is choice. It's all choice. You already know not to do, but you still choose to do. You already know not to spend this money here. You already know to go ahead and pay that bill now when you had that money, like Pastor said last week. But you put a piece of the bill on the, you pay a piece of it and then forget that new bill is coming, and then must have forgot that on the fine print it says you don't get another grace period when you combine two. So now you're paying more than what you paid for, what you were going to pay for originally. Again, still going with the title of, tighten up. Because tighten up was, if you ever hear someone tell you that, or someone's told you that before, usually when someone is saying that, it's like, hey, you got to slow your roll. You got to stop doing what you're doing. Because you already know what you're doing. So it's like, hey, fall back. Stop doing that, and slow down, So we're going to go to Jonah chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. I might not read all of it. I'll read some of it. So it says, then Jonah prayed unto the Lord, his God, out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. So now you going through right now. You having these issues. It feel like, when is it gonna stop? Now you praying to God. Now you admit, hey, I messed up. I did it. I did it. All right, I did it. When is this gonna stop? I did it. I'm sorry. But before, this is the whole thing of, what we've been hearing, where we take graceful advantage. Taking graceful advantage. Taking advantage of it right now. And so now Jonah he's praying, which is basically the same thing that we do when, stuff is messed up with us. We finally go ahead and pray. Now fasting is at the front of our mind. Now we at church, we up here at church and we on time. we on time. Verse 3 says, for thou hadst cast me into the deep, in the midst of the seas and the floods. Compass me about, all thy billows and thy waves pass over me. So basically, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Jonah is asking for forgiveness, just basically pleading with the Lord of, I shouldn't have done what I done. That's right. I should have listened to what you told me the first time and went and gave the word to the people in the city. But because of my own direction that I wanted to go, I made my own decision to do something completely different. So if you're supposed to be working in ministry, you don't create your own personal ministry and go a different direction of what is set for the congregation. Because like we have visitors in here, we don't want to throw that off, and it looks like, man, they got some crazy stuff going on, over there at that temple place over there, all the way down there on 290, man. I could have stayed up north for this stuff, but you don't want to get the wrong. I'm only saying that because that's stuff I did. That's stuff I did. If I just saw like one person do something, or not a whole church like that. And that person could have been a visitor, not a whole church like that. We're not going there. We're not going there. So we're gonna go back to Proverbs chapter 1. And we're going to go to verse 20. Verses 20 through 28.
Thank you, Lord.
So whenever y'all get there, just let me know.
Amen.
All right, it says, wisdom crieth out. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. How long you gonna keep doing the same thing over and over, getting the same results, knowing if you eat, drink, go here and do this. This is going to happen to you. This is like, this happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This happens at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, at night. Like, this happens. The same thing happens every week. Coming to church every other week, either not speaking to certain ones or not, coming in here like they said earlier, with Thanksgiving. Being thankful that you at least made it here. You woke up this morning. I'm glad I was able to drive here. I'm glad that, I have a job. I'm glad that I have something. So, how long are you going to keep doing the same thing that isn't working? 23 says, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. God, has always given us, not just giving us a sign, like literally talking to us. We already know what to do. So how long do you think he's going to keep? How long are you going to keep talking to your kids and telling them to stop doing it, stop doing it, stop doing it before you get on them?
Yeah, that's good.
How long are you going to keep doing that?
Jesus.
25 says, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also would laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So I'm gonna use me and my wife as an example. Before we even came to church, my wife she's always a giving, wanting to help, go the extra mile to help someone. Let's invite someone in to the house. Let's give them this. Let's actually do this for them. Let's work with them and show this. Sometimes you have to do things for people because they may not just get it. You kind of got to meet the need. Then you can kind of go on and teach how to go and get something. And early on, I was like, no, they grown. Let them do it. I don't know. We don't know them like that. I don't talk to them. They don't call my phone and check on me and do what, I wasn't with it. But after a while, when we came together and we both decided to live for the Lord, I had already made up in my mind to, this makes my wife happy. Helping others and doing things for others. So when we came to live for God, man, that's it. Okay. Hold on.
That's right. I know.
That's what I'm saying. I hear more claps than that when it's time to go eat. But when we came together and we started living for Christ. And I was talking with Brother Bryson about it earlier. When we do things for others and it gets to that point of they don't want help. Now they're using you. Now they're using you. Now they're using you. And now, when it gets to a point to where it doesn't work out, now whoever that they know, hey, they did this, they did that, they did this, they did. So basically, God's telling you to do something, you don't do it, you act a fool, you get forgiven, you do it again, you act a fool, you get forgiven, you do it again, and then after that, when you got to go through, you lie on God and say, God, why you do this? Why you just didn't do this? Why you didn't give me this? If only if I had this, if only if I had that, why you do this to me? And it's like, God didn't do that to you, did it to yourself. You lost focus of what you were supposed to do, what you should have been on. So for me and my wife, there was always a plan And there was always a direction of where we wanted to go with people and what we wanted to help people with. But when people get their own alternative motive for what they want, now we become the bad guys when it doesn't work.
Right.
And now, what usually happens when something doesn't work with some people? What's the first thing that people do? They gotta run, get their side of the story out first, and make it seem like, hey, don't mess with them, don't talk to them. They're kind of like when it's time to fellowship with another church, and your church may be on fire more than the other church. So they gotta put it out there that hey, don't go down there with them. You know, they got this going on. You know, they ain't got that. They ain't even got a daycare center. But okay, you got a daycare center, but you ain't got no type of power up in there. Everybody's sitting there. Everybody's sitting there. It's just cold. You just sitting there. So this is what happens where it says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So you keep abusing God's grace. Like, you got to go through it at some point. You got to deal with it. If you never go through, you never deal with it. You're like a spoiled little kid that gets everything he or she wants. You never learn. You never learn. And you got to learn. You got to understand what you should and shouldn't do. I'm going to go to 29 and 30. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. So it's, when you hearing the right thing that you're supposed to do, you get mad. You don't want to do right. You don't want it. So you want somebody to do it for you, give it to you for free. Then it gets used up. Then you want it again. So like politics again. Everybody want free health care, free college, minimum wage need to be this high. Who gonna pay for it though? Who gonna pay for it?
That's so true.
You know, hey, I want $15. I want a place that usually, starts you off at $10 an hour. You say, oh, well, they need to make it $15 an hour. Okay, they make it $15 an hour. Yeah, we winning, but now what? Now taxes are going up, cost of living went up, rent went up. How you winning? Because that apartment that may have cost like $800 is probably like $1,150 now. You're not really gaining. You're not really gaining if someone do everything for you and you abuse it. So God, if God just keep giving you chances and chances, and when are you gonna learn? When are you gonna appreciate Him? You're never gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. I say one thing. I know I got like one more verse to read in this thing, but when me and my wife, when we first met, and this is before we got married, before we was in church. When we first met, she came and she was with me for like maybe 2-3 months. I guess, had to check out, make sure I wasn't crazy, and she thought I was like 15 years old. Because I weighed like 140, I was small.
How you doing?
But what was I gonna say? They throwing me off behind. No, I learned to appreciate God. So I never knew who God was, experienced God, felt God, or anything until me and my wife got together. So when the first time I went to South Carolina and we went to get cocoa, we got them from my mother-in-law, and Coco was 5 years old at the time. Coco weighed 28 pounds, wasn't he? He weighed 28 pounds. So just imagine carrying like a small sack of potatoes like this. 28 pounds. I mean, he don't look like it now. But he was 28 pounds. He was very small. And I never really had been like experienced with kids like that. I never been around nothing like, I still had my resume. I think I said it before. I still had my resume on a floppy disk, and I'm like in my early 20s. I know nothing about an SD memory. I don't know nothing about that. Never had a smartphone. I didn't know nothing. Never had a MySpace. I didn't know nothing. I mean, that's what it was at the time. I didn't use YouTube or nothing. So like, when it came to life, I was like that person that an employer wants. I want you to have no work experience so that I can train you to do this job because you have no type of bad ways about how it works. And I feel that's when we got together. I feel that's how I came to God. I came to God like that. So that's how. Even though our marriage has been it's been crazy with the things with Coco and just like with us and just like everything, just everything. But I learned it could have been so much worse. It could have been so much worse, and I would rather me and her deal with it than someone else who can't deal with it. And I really learned to appreciate God because He's shown me how strong we are individually and together. What was that, 29? Amen. 30. 30 says, they would none of my counsel, they despise all my reproof. So, this is where sometimes children may think that they can't burn a bridge with parents. And when I say burn a bridge, I don't mean like never talk to you again type of thing. Like, no, I have to let you go and you have to do your own thing for now. I can't save you no more. I can't help you. You got to figure this out. If you able to do what you want to do and get yourself in all types of trouble, you understand. It's kind of like the person that cause so much drama and mess with people, but they know which ones not to mess with. So they mess with the ones that won't really touch you, but you know not to mess with the ones in the back. Because they'll give you the business in the parking lot. I'll get you for
They
We're gonna go back to Jonah, chapter 4. Jonah chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. So remember when we were in chapter 3, Jonah basically was praying, asking for forgiveness because he had to go through his go-through moment. Basically saying, I do what you if you get me out of this, Lord, I'll go preach. I do this. I'll be the first one at the church. I'll clean. I'll drive the bus. I'll give anyone a ride that needed. Blah blah blah. All this other stuff. So chapter 4, verse 1 and 2 says, but it displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he was very angry. So basically, the original assignment that God told Jonah to do was to go to the city of Nineveh and tell people to change their ways. So verse 2 says, and he prayed unto the Lord and said, I pray thee, O Lord, was not this my sin when I was yet in my country? Therefore I fled before unto Tarshish, for I knew that thou art a gracious God and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repentance thee of evil. So he went back. He started doing. We'll go down to 5. Says, so Jonah went out of the city and sat on the let me make sure.
You saw
it? So Jonah went out of the city and sat on the east side of the city, and there made him a booth and sat under it in the shadow, so he might see what will become of the city. So God gave him another chance to do what he was supposed to do, and he's refusing, or like he's still on what he was on before, but not as heavy. He's still on it. So you didn't have you acted how you acted. Your car got taken away. You prayed, you went through your go-through moment. You know, when I get my car back, you know, I do right. I don't treat people funny. I get them rides. I do all this stuff. You get your car back. You get your car, you get stank again. Now you don't feel like driving. It's too far. I'll give you some gas money. I don't need it. I don't need it. You know, it's alright. You know, you're not as heavy, but you still on it. You still on it. You still, you know, a little defiant.
I give you a Uber number.
Yeah, I'll give you an Uber. You know, call Lyft. They cheaper. You know, so when you get another chance again, you kind of go back to that same attitude.
Yeah.
And just completely forget. Then you just went through all of this. You just went through it. And you forgot. So it's like a little kid. You get him a whooping. And then he go right back over there and like touch it again.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, you need a different whooping now. You need a different whooping now. Verse 11 says, chapter 4, Jonah, verse 11, it says, and should not, keep in mind, Jonah, you know, got another chance and he's still acting stank. Yeah. So, verse 11 says, and should not I spare Nineveh, the great city, wherein are more than 60,000 persons that cannot discern between their right hand and their left hand, and also much cattle. So here we are, saints of God. We know God. We experience God. Have the Holy Ghost. You know the Word. Everything. Get conviction. All of that. And here we are. We'll look at someone who don't know God, someone who hasn't, you know, felt His Spirit, and like we'll judge them. Yeah. And don't want to help them. Yeah. And feel like, you know, if you touch them, you know, ugh. And how you gonna do that? And it was, you know, someone did it with you. That's right. I think, you know, we've been at this church for what, 2 years now? 3? We've been here for 3 years. And you know, Minister Jones, as much as he had me come up to the front trying to get the Holy Ghost, and, you know, sometimes I try to go to the far corner and just be like, you know, don't bother me, and see him walking up. Oh man. But it worked. It worked. But you know, you see someone that don't know. Yeah. They don't know. So how you gonna judge them like that? How you not gonna help them? How you not gonna feel sorry for them? Just say I'm with it. I don't think you with it, but I'm with it. But after, like when you see that, you know, that a person is like, they're just lost. Like even with the person being upset in the way that they're explaining it, they still don't know. They still don't know. So how can I be mad? It's like fighting a person that don't want to fight. What you gonna get out of that? Everybody gonna jack you up there, man. You got him. He didn't want to fight. He was scared. What you got out of that?
That's good.
You ain't tough.
Right.
That's good.
And you know that's how we should be. Like even if there is a saint that's in here, Holy Ghost and everything, like, you know, we still got work that we got to do. Like Pastor said earlier, we're still struggling. Amen. And in the middle of the struggling, you still need to tighten up some things that still need to be worked on. You know, still keep moving. I'm gonna say this. Think of it like that. So, with being saints of God, what we already know to do, just do it. Amen. Just do it. And this is what, and how we went through with Jonah. Jonah already knew what to do. And Jonah refused. Jonah went through. Jonah prayed for forgiveness. Jonah got forgiven. And then Jonah went right back to it. Want to do every day of that. Every day of that, and you have some, you know, you have some blessings that may be coming. Like, you know, you have some on your job that's coming. You know you have something within your personal life that's coming. You know there's been a healing, going on of someone like somebody's been praying for you. You don't want to alter anything. You don't want to wreck that, because you can unknowingly wreck that.
Yeah.
And then by the time everything wrecks and it fails, then you remember. And that hurts. And the only thing I want to say is, whenever we get ready to go home, and I'm saying this for myself too, don't think about Monday, how busy it's going to be on the job, and the drive going there, and the traffic you're going to deal with. Just appreciate, just appreciate knowing what I need to do not to get to this point of going through. So that's all.